Good morning, everyone. It is so fantastic to see you here today. In today's live, one of the things that I really want to cover is this whole notion of the fact that you are in charge of your own career. One of the things that occurs when I'm speaking to women is that some of the women are just not very happy with the way that their career is going. And when I'm speaking about career, it can also absolutely mean that it's also your business. So it's the direction where you want your work to be going. And is it really in the direction that you really want it? And is it really going at the pace? And whether it's slowing down the pace or a higher pace, is it really going at the pace that you really want it as well? So it's so important to be able to work out what you're going to be doing. So I want to share with you 4 or 5 tips today that's going to really help you steer it in the right direction so that you can make the changes that you need to do. So the first thing I want to challenge you on is that when I was growing up, one of the things that occurred was that people always talked about the fact that they were going to retire at the age of 55. That then changed to 60. That then changed to 65. And it has continued to rise. Now I probably can't access a lot of the stuff that I need in terms of my superannuation, probably till my late 60s. And, with the way that the world is at the moment, I just wonder if that's going to keep changing as well. So one of the things I really want to do is to question and challenge what age will you actually be retiring? So if you're a 35-year-old woman, maybe you've got 50 years of work ahead of you. If you're a 45-year-old woman, maybe you've still got 35 to 40 years ahead of work ahead of you. Now, I don't want to depress you at all. I know that for some of you, you are going to be changing careers, you're going to be changing jobs, you're going to be changing businesses. I've been mentoring a number of people recently, and one of the things I noticed is that even if they're in corporate jobs, they're wanting to diversify their revenue streams. They're wanting to maybe start up a side hustle on the side as well to see what difference that actually makes. And if you want extra revenue streams, it's so important to look at your career and start to design it. And again, when I'm speaking about career, I'm talking about businesses, I'm talking about your corporate job or whatever way it may be that you do things. And don't you want to work the way that you want to work, whether it's working from home or working in an office? Don't you want to work with clients that you absolutely love or with colleagues that you absolutely love? Why don't we start to create and dream of a different way to be in the future than perhaps that we have been? So one of the conversations here is, how do I start steering your career? Now, I've spoken about that a fair bit in a couple of other previous lives this week. Your career is your absolute job to be able to steer it in the relation to what you want to create. It is not anybody else's. You have to take the steering wheel, you have to engineer it, and you have to work out how you're going to be able to do that. So some tips is starting to get very, very clear on what you are really passionate about. One of the things that I get asked all the time is, I do this work, it pays off the mortgage. It's actually not that exciting though, is it, when you're actually wording it like that? Absolutely not exciting at all. So one of the things I want you to do is start to make a list of the things that you're awesome at, you're really good at, but I also want you to start making a list of things that you really enjoy. When there is an overlap in terms of what that is, then you'll start to see how to actually make that work. So you start to make a list, say you've got 18 things on one side and 15 things on the other side. Some of you might be saying, I'm not good at that many things. Actually, you probably are, more than you've realized. And if you get a bit stuck about that, one of the things I want you to do is I want you to be able to ask some people that love you and say, hey, what am I good at? What do I do really well? What do you think I'm passionate about? Ask 3 or 4 of your closest family and friends, and they'll probably spout off a big list in terms of what you are really good at and what you need to be able to do. So I want you to make a list. I want you to think about your career and your business and where your revenue stream of income is going to come if you're going to be around for many, many years to come. I don't see myself retiring at all. I see myself working in areas of my passion more, maybe doing more volunteer work, but I don't see myself retiring. I'm also surrounded by 3 or 4 amazing people in their 70s and 80s who are informal mentors of mine who are still working. And so you want to keep doing the bits that you love so that it doesn't feel like work as you get older. And you want to make in charge of what you're going to do and how you're going to create that as well. So a couple of things that I want you to really think about is that if you are thinking about a side hustle, I so want you to contact me and tell me what you're thinking about. I also want you to have a think about the Pack Women Mastermind program that's just open. We are only open for another 5 days. And one of the things is to really do a 12-month live program with me where you can start to get clear on your passions, how you're going to execute things, how you're going to steer your direction of your career, but more importantly, to get the foundations of your confidence up so that you can make that happen. If you've got any questions, my website is called Ask Shivani. Please go to askshivani.com. If you've got any questions about the mastermind, please go to askshivani.com and go to the mastermind tab. And if you just want to just ask a question that may or may not be linked into where you are and what you want to be doing, then please just go to the contact form. I look forward to receiving your questions, and I look forward to being able to answer them. And I look forward to tomorrow's live, where I'll share a number of other tips with you in terms of how we move forward.